Yeah. You know what time it is?
Yeah.
My vocals up.
Hi, this is Blessing of That Blessing Production. I'm the CEO and founder of That Blessing Production Entertainment. And we have, I would say, young men, from an engineer in our midst right now that would want to talk about him today because his accomplishments is very big, and we feel like as people that support upcoming artists, we also support businesses and every other aspect that will help, because most upcoming artists, they are students and they go into school, or they even have a job outside being an artist. So we bring people like him in to introduce themselves and give a little pointers on how to help. So today I'm going to let Mr. Chuks introduce himself.
All right, thank you. Good day, viewers.
Yeah.
My name is Engineer Anene. I came all the way from Nigeria,
Nice.
primarily first for a solar energy conference,
Okay.
and it was an opportunity for me to visit That Blessing Production because I've heard so much about the Blessing Production, and I actually want to come see for myself.
Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate you. We're so excited to have him because many years ago we knew each other in Nigeria, and we've left. I've left Nigeria for a long time, but having the Mr. Chuks himself in here is a joy to me. So right now, what education background do you have?
Okay. Well, I started from Nigeria,
Okay.
where I had my primary school education.
Okay.
Thereafter, I moved to the secondary school, like you call high school here, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I proceeded to the university, tertiary institution, but I had my first tertiary institution at the Polytechnic, where I studied electrical and electronics engineering.
Okay.
And after some few industrial training, I opted to go for a degree in electrical engineering also.
Okay.
So I went for my degree, bachelor's degree in the University of Anene University.
Okay.
That's back in Nigeria. And thereafter, I decided to start practicing engineering. And in the course of practice, I decided to go for some professional certification, because in Nigeria, before you can handle some contracts, some projects, you need to be a certified engineer.
Same here. Okay.
Okay, so I decided to go enroll for some professional courses, which I did. And be that as it may, I got my licenses. And, learning is a continuous process.
That's true.
So I needed to be an authority in my area of specialty. And that now drove me to going for my master's degree in the same line, electrical electronics engineering. But this time around, I specialize in electrical powers and machine. So yeah, we're still expanding, and we are still keeping the drive.
Okay. So you were having a conversation about your company that
Okay.
you worked on before a long time ago, and although you gained all this degree and all that stuff, can you enlighten us on what that company does?
Okay. Back in year 2009,
Okay.
2009 precisely.
10 years now.
Yes, I came up with a concept of registering a company,
Okay.
so I could candidate for myself and practice engineering in Nigeria. So I stormed the office of the Corporate Affairs Commission in Nigeria, went to get the prerequisite to have my company registered, which I did,
Yes.
and that company has since been in existence.
Nice.
And we handled some project back in Nigeria, Benin, and we expanded to even the north, Abuja, Kaduna in Nigeria, and some other states. And I have clients which I have worked for over the years,
Okay.
and we could testify to the fact that our engineering is the bomb.
Nice. The bomb. Remember, engineering is the bomb. Don't forget that. So you need engineering stuff done, which we'll lighten, we'll expand on, so you understand. Because some people hear engineering, they just think boom, some maybe building bridges and all that extra stuff. There's different type of engineering process, and we're going to talk about some. You said you got a license in overseeing electrical stuff?
Yes. Back in this is the United States.
Yeah.
So most times I refer back home in Nigeria. That's where I came from.
Yeah. From Nigeria. It's from Nigeria. You see everything in the bottom. So.
So back home in Nigeria, for you to practice as an engineer, you need a license.
Yeah,
if
true.
not, you'll be considered at times a quack.
True.
And you'll be liable for any damages, hazard that could come as a result of bad work or using substandard material. So for you to handle an engineering project, it has to be approved, and for that approval to come, the person handling that project must be a registered engineer, one who has been certified by the body in Nigeria called the CORE, Council for the Regulation of Engineering.
So you're licensed with that?
Sure, I am licensed.
Nice.
And I'm up to date.
Okay, yes. So now, let's say I want to build a house right now.
Yeah.
Or I want to build a hotel, something, some edifice.
Yes.
I can come to you now.
Sure, very well you can.
Okay, so, and what would you do for me?
Okay, engineering, you just can't be in all areas of engineering.
Yeah.
Personally, me, I am a registered electrical engineer.
Okay.
So we have the building engineers as well, the civil, the architecture guys who comes in. So we have our own different jobs. So I will not encroach into the job of the civil engineer.
Yeah.
So I will only work within my jurisdiction, which is electrical engineering. Yeah. So first, if you want to build a house, you need to meet the architect who gives you the drawing.
Okay. So let's say I've done all that, and I need electrical part of it. So I come to you.
Yes.
What would your work be?
Yes. What we do, we need to get the drawing plans from you. We get our electrical drawing from that drawing plans done. So you see the drawing plans just like you see lines, drawings, schematic drawing.
Yeah.
So in each of those schematic drawings, you have rooms, you have the toilets, you have the bathrooms, you have stuff like that. So we insert every component that needs to be in each of these rooms, so that it will look like the house when you come in. Like you have your lighting system, you have your heater. So all of those we put in the course of our doing the electrical drawing for you, and this would have to be approved. And because I have my license and seal, if I go through this drawing and certify that this drawing is okay, it needs to go for approval, I put my seal on it. And that for over 5, 6, 7 years now, I've been sealing projects, and all of this have been going through approval from the FCD back in Nigeria.
And I know the kind of person you are.
Sure.
You make sure. You make sure. Because this man, I'm telling you, deal with him, is a man that makes sure his name is, like we say good name is better than riches.
Sure.
He will go and we check, like dealing with him along many years, he will go in there and make sure that it is, if it's not the right thing, he's not going to put his hand on it.
Yeah, if I do, I stand the risk of losing my license, and you know what it cost me, what I went through to get that license.
Yeah. So, we came on here, we were talking about the project you did in Kaduna, some time ago.
Yeah, that was recent.
Okay.
And it was in Coca-Cola Depot.
Okay.
Yeah, they had this project to change their 1.2 MVA transformer for a bigger capacity transformer, because their load capacity was not being sustained by that 1.2 MVA capacity transformer. So they needed a bigger one, so they were going for a 1.5 MVA. And now the engineers that were to work for that project are supposed to be licensed, are supposed to be certified by CORE, and they had none in their team. So I was contacted because I have my license and I've been practicing for years. So that was how I was involved in that project. We had that project done, and presently I can assure you, if you go there, you confirm that it's a 1.5 MVA transformer that is serving that depot.
So it was a 1.2 before?
Yeah, 1.2.
So what was that extra difference with the 0.3?
Yes. If you install a transformer here today, to serve maybe 10 blocks of flats. You will agree with me because of demography. In no time, you see other houses springing up, population coming in, houses springing up. You won't tell me they will not want to go on power. They will definitely, and that will be an extra load on the transformer that you initially installed. So that is load increase, and you have to plan for that as well.
I guess that's one reason with NEPA.
Yes, exactly.
So much load on a little transformer.
So much load, yes.
I remember hearing this transformer blow up.
Sure.
I wish, if you grew up in Nigeria, you understand NEPA Wahala. Well, that aside, I went to Germany. I think it was 2016 or 17, one of those two. And I saw fans. I saw, what do you call it? Treadmills. Is it windmills?
Windmills, yeah.
I said treadmills. Well, it's windmills. And it was just everywhere. And I was like, whoa. It was so beautiful. I took a lot of pictures.
Sure.
And in America and other places, I see solar energy, a lot of solar power. So Nigeria, where would Nigeria fall into this? Like, is there a plan Nigeria is going to solar? Is there a plan that Nigeria is going to windmills? Is this thing happening in Nigeria? Because the situation with NEPA, one, that shows that we need more sustainable power energy in Nigeria.
Yes.
And in Nigeria, especially with a place that's good for sun. And if you look at Akon just started this thing in Africa, and all over the world, I guess, on solar.
Vigorously.
Yes. Yeah. And he's going serious on this. I was like, man, Akon turned from rapper to activist. And he's going straight into this thing. So can you just give us a little, like, brief?
Yes. The world today is preaching green energy.
Yeah.
Reason being that our earth is being threatened as a result of ozone layer being depleted, and one of the major causes for the ozone layer being depleted is as a result of gases that are emitted and that are hazardous to the atmosphere, hazardous to the ozone layer. Some of these gases, they're emitted from heavy-duty equipment like the diesel generator, the fuel generator, so many of them. They contribute to the danger the ozone layer is facing, and at the end of the day, we get the adverse effect here on Earth. So our Earth is threatened. And now, in order for us to generate energy, the world is clamoring for green energy. And this has to do with the renewable energy, actually. The solar, the windmill, like you mentioned. Now, you don't expect where you have solar and windmill to function at the same time. It's not a possibility at one time point. There are places where your wind vanes will work and solar will not work. So each of them have potential to thrive at different locations. The survey has to be done to know whether the solar panels will have potential to thrive well here, and that depends on the intensity of sun you have in that area. So back home in Nigeria, we have that potential. Virtually everywhere in Nigeria, solar panels will thrive well and will generate energy, clean energy through the solar panel. But some parts of the north, closer to Sahara, where we have huge winds, those places will thrive on wind vanes. Yes.
Wow. I love that, man. You see, I wish people would take this. I hope someone sees this and they come up with something to help Nigerian people, because it's serious. Sure. As big as that nation, I think we should be living better than just NEPA and transformers, you know. But that's not my job to do that, you know. We have engineers like you in Nigeria, so maybe you guys put heads together and make something happen in Nigeria. But we're moving on, because I like for you to leave something for these upcoming artists that are students, engineers out there, young engineers. They don't know what's going on right now. They just started. Like some just want to be engineers right now. They're going through all that rigorous physics and all that stuff. So with you accomplishing to this level now, what do you have for them? What would you tell them to encourage them, and to also give them an insight or vision on what to focus on? And I wish you could make that like a minute or two. Sure.
Yeah. Right. The key thing is, one, having passion for what you do.
Okay.
For the upcoming engineers, those who are interested in becoming engineers, or those who wish to become engineers, because back when I was still in my secondary school, when I was in secondary school back in Nigeria, I always craved to become an engineer. So that passion was there. Even though I really don't know what it all entails to become an electrical engineer. If you ask me then, what would you like to be like? You ask some people today, they'll tell you they want to be this or that. I tell you I want to become an engineer, electrical engineer. But really I do not know if I was going to be a power system engineer or an electronics engineer or telecom engineer. I really don't know that. Elect. Yes, so first that has to be defined. What would you like to be? Is it civil engineer? Is it electrical engineer? Is it mechanical engineer? You have to define that first. Make up your mind, I want to be this. And having done that, you have to be passionate about it. Okay? You have to be passionate about it. Stay focused on the goals that will help you to achieve this. After my polytechnic education, I still needed to become an engineer. But I was told, if you go through the polytechnic in Nigeria, you do not stand a very good chance to be registered as an engineer. You have to go through an accredited university. So I decided to go to the university because this is my focus. If I
What university was that?
Yes.
What university?
Nnamdi Azikiwe University,
Okay.
Oka. If I did not go to the university, I will not become an engineer.
Okay.
If I went through the polytechnic, I still have to do some other courses at PG level before I can go apply for the engineering body to certify me. So I went through all that and had to go through the certification. So if you want to become an engineer, make up your mind. I said making up my mind while in the polytechnic that I must climb to the echelon of becoming an engineer, a registered engineer, and to practice in Nigeria. So I asked myself, what am I supposed to do? You need to ask for requirements. You need to know the requirements. Having known all that, what do I need to do in order for me to get that? So if I need to write an exam, if I need to register for the certifications, I need to do that. So I got myself registered. I need to read in order for me to be able to pass these exams, because there are interviews, there are exams you will go through, and I made all that. So for the upcoming engineers, the would-be engineers, I would advise, one, you define what engineering you would like to plunge yourself into. Thereafter, you ask yourself, what are the requirements? And after which you need to stay focused. You need to stay focused. You don't need to be, my friend is doing this, my friend is doing that. You don't understand.
Consistency. You gotta be consistent in what you do. We appreciate you coming out, Mr. Engineer.
Yes.
Chooks, and then you gotta put engineer on there, man. Like you put doctor, you got, so like you put a barrister or esquire. So, but the thing is, I appreciate you for stopping by.
Thank you.
Because I was glad for you to visit, and I'm honored to have this interview. Because I said I have to have this interview. I've been dying to have this interview for a long time.
Thank you.
But I'm happy you stopped in the United States, and this is Maryland, in the United States, and we expect more small businesses and or upcoming businesses and businesses stop by, talk, and give some insight of what they do, so that they can help the next generation get better and stay focused in what they're doing. I wish you to stop by again whenever you're around here. And we'll do more interviews, maybe over the phone or over the intercom, and we'll talk more. But I want to appreciate you for stopping by, and wish you guys the best. You're a small business and upcoming artist. You want to get in this and to talk about what you do, to get people to know you, just contact us. And you see the number and our email in the bottom of the screen. And we'll get you up here to get to the audience. Thank you for stopping by.
I got Jesus Christ, me, I don't go look with your face. Thank you, Jesus Christ, cause he went to die on the cross. I know fit to live and cause devil fit double cross. Always praying for the best, I'm not expecting the worst. He paid the price for my sins, he no care about the cost. Now I'm free from cost, I'm living my life like the boss. I'm counting all my blessings on a profit, no loss. Now I'm glad everything around me all joy. Look around, what do you see? It's all joy. Shout out to the men we lost.